Hi, I'm going to demonstrate how to change a broken screen on a laptop computer. We have here a Lenovo Z570. You can see the model number. And the screen got stepped on, and as a result it's cracked. And I have gone ahead and ordered a new screen from laptopscreen.com. An excellent website to use. You just need to get the model number of the screen that you need and plug it in on the website to find out. And I'll show you when I open this up, I'll show you where the model number is on the back of the screen. And highlight, that's the best way to do it. So to get started, now for the interest of time, I've taken off some of the screws ahead of time, but I'll show you how everything comes apart, and it's a fairly easy project. First thing you have to do is pop off this bevel that protects the screen. I've loosened it up already, but it's very simple. What you do is, with your fingertips, you can kind of pry right along the side here until it pops out. And you get both sides, and you might have to bend the screen down. The only area to be careful of is the down at the bottom here. So what you do is you just keep prying off with your fingernails. You don't really need to use a tool or anything. And you see and this just comes out right like that, and you just place it aside. Next, you have to, you can see the screen inside this metal frame, and there are two screws on the top, one here and one here, and then there's then the screen itself is held in to the metal frame by 4 screws, 2 on each side, around here and here, and then the same thing on the other side. You'll need a very small screwdriver like this. I've gotten this out of a set that has a whole number of different size screwdrivers. I don't know what number this is, but it's, as you can see, it's a pretty small Phillips head type screwdriver. Probably similar ones you could use for eyeglasses, but nevertheless, you want to get a couple of cups together, and so you can put these screws aside. So let's take this first top screw out. It's very tiny, so I'm going to put that aside. Let's take the other one out on the top. Hopefully we can see this. I'm using a little shot glass to keep the screws separated. So then when you take those top screws out, the screen will come forward a little bit. Now it's the screen, again, I took out a couple of these screws earlier in the interest of time. You can see the screw holes. There was one right down here, and the other one is in here, which is still in, and the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to remove, and this screw is slightly different than the top two that I just took out. So you want to have a separate glass or something. Store these screws separately. You'll end up with 4 of these. Very small screws, so just handle it with care and be careful not to drop it. Okay, and like I said, I took out the other screws earlier. So once all 4 screws are out, the screen basically comes out of the metal framing. Now it's attached to the motherboard by this cable in the back. So once you get the screen out of the metal framing, you want to just lightly place it down on the keyboard like that. And hopefully you can see that this is where the screen is attached to the motherboard with this sort of a USB type of miniature keys. Anyway, to find out the right screen, you You want to look at this label that's on the back of the screen and focus in on this number here. In this case, it's LP156WH4, and then parentheses TL, parentheses A1. And that's the model number you want to type in when you go to the website, laptopscreen.com. It'll ask you if you want to search for a screen. You can do it by either Lenovo 570 or more specifically use this number under, I think it's under the box model number for screen. You type that whole thing in and the proper screen will come up. And then you just need to select either glossy or matte as far as the finish. And so I've done that, and I have my new screen that's come in the mail. And it's just a matter of taking this old screen out, which is what we're demonstrating. So once you get to that point, you now just want, again, you can pick up the screen, and hopefully you can see this in the camera. This is the way it's connected to the motherboard. And so you want to be careful with this. You have to peel up on this tape a little bit. The tape holds this cable down to the screen, and this just disconnects like that. The teeth just come out of the screen. Let's lay that aside. And so there's the broken screen that is now disconnected. And you can see in my case it was cracked up on the top here. And we can put this aside. And then you get the new screen and literally just reverse the procedure. Connect it to the motherboard. Place it back into the framing. Reattach the, I'm not going to do it all. Just reattach the 4 screws to the side. And then reattach the 2 screws up at the top. Back up here, and here. And then take your bevel protector and you would just snap that back on. Reattach the 2 screws that came out of the bevel. There was one here and one here. And then just snap back on the little screw covers that you'll see that come with that. And then lastly, and I neglected to mention this earlier, but the very first thing you need to do before you start any of this is to take out the battery from the back of the computer. Here's the battery. This snaps out from the bottom, right like that. You just snap it out. And then so now after you put the new screen in, you snap the battery back in. And that should do it. And hopefully you'll have some as good luck as I have. It's a very easy project. Again, just the screws, the most difficult part about it is the screws are very small and you could easily lose them. And again, you need a very small screwdriver like this. But fairly simple. And again, laptopscreen.com is the way to go to order the new screen. They have a selection of over 1,000. And again, you use the model number off the back of the old screen to make sure you get the right one. Thank you very much for listening and watching.